Welcome back, investors, to the Investing with Our YouTube channel for another video. If you're new to the channel, I am a UK-based investor focusing mainly on US stocks, and I started the portfolio I will be showing you today in April 2021. I am fortunate enough to have gone past the golden milestone having a 100k portfolio, and I'll be showing you the ups and possibly more importantly the downs of my investing journey. This includes the buys, the sales, and the dividend income I receive. So if you're a returning viewer, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe so you can follow my journey. Now, let's get into it. So today's video is going to be summarizing the third week of July. So at the end of last week, the portfolio was just over 111,000. And this week we end at 112,590, which is a 1.4% return, which equates to £1,588 in gain, which is a very solid week. At one point, we were up over 113,000, but we settled on this amount by the end. So not too much happened in the last week, but it is earnings season, so a lot of companies are going to be reporting earnings soon. One of them that did report earnings was ASML, which dropped quite a bit, which finished the week at down 8.19%. Even though the company beat on revenue and earnings per share, the company dropped mainly due to the guidance that was given by management, where they said they're not too sure about growth in 2026. Now, are the management being just a bit cautious considering they beat on both revenue and EPS? Maybe. For me, this continues to be a buy because I don't think there's a world where all these other semiconductors are going to do well or are doing well, such as Nvidia, Broadcom, TSM, etc. And ASML doesn't do well too. So I think this is a good point to keep buying, and I will keep buying this stock. So just a quick reminder that if you do want to ask me any questions, I've set up this group on X called the Investor Circle. So if you have got any questions that you want answered, then please just drop a message on there and I will answer them if I can, and hopefully people will gain some value and learn from that too. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe so you can follow the journey. If you're an existing subscriber, then please give it a like so other people can see it and follow the journey too. So as mentioned earlier, quite a good week overall. So what were the main performers for last week? I want to shout out to Google, which is now up over £1,000 in profit. This was down for a while. Now I'm up 8% overall. Let's look at my overall holding of my biggest stock. So I have 107 shares at an average price of $162, and now it's trading at $185. So we're only up 8% mainly because of the FX. The dollar is really weak at the moment, so it is what it is, but we're moving slowly and there's earnings coming up, which if Google does well, then this share is going to go up quite strongly. And I firmly believe this is at least a $200 stock. Yeah, and that's in at number 5 at just under 3% in gain for the last week. In at number 4 is Broadcom, which is up just under 100%. So this is not the stock that I will be referring to afterwards as my second 100% stock in my portfolio. But this one had a good week, up 3.21%. Let's have a quick look at my holding. So I've got 15.1 shares at an average price of $136.22. And it's currently trading at $283. So a solid performer. If you look at the last 3 months, up 65%. So moving really strongly and doing very, very well. Now here it is, my second 100% stock within my ISA, which is Nvidia. There we go, up 100% for a £2,100 gain. Now this is only just under 4% of my portfolio, and the main reason for that, I alluded to it in my last video, is that I didn't think this love for AI would continue as strongly. So this company is doing $40 billion a quarter, and I didn't think people would keep buying chips at that level. Still obviously had an interest in the company, so I kept some of it, but obviously with hindsight this would be bigger. But the company's giving guidance that this will continue at least for the short to medium term. So this is how it's doing. So up 4.5% this week. If you look at the last 3 month performance, similar to, well, beating Broadcom actually, just under 70%, and it's gone past the $4 trillion mark in terms of market cap as the first company to do that. In at number 2, quite surprisingly, even though it's down just on the 13.5%, is HIMS. So it had a gain of 4.66% for this week. Earnings are coming up. This company is one that I started to buy recently. I made a video on why, and I still have very high hopes for this company to do well, and it's starting to show signs of that right now. My holding is just over £6,000 now, and I bought £7,000 worth of it in the course of the last 2 months. Hopefully with the good earnings, it's going to go up. And the best performing stock of this week was Tesla, up just over 5%. No tweeting about Trump, no tweeting about getting into government, and the stock is starting to do well again. Yeah, Elon, keep your mouth shut, please, if you can, and let this stock go up. There have been reports of robotaxi widening its geographical reach, and there are new cities which I think it's going to start moving into very soon, and the stock is doing well on the back of that. Now, obviously, it's not all good. Let's look at the stocks that didn't do so well this week, and the main one was Oscar Health, which is down 6%. Again, another stock that I have high convictions on, and I think it would do well in the long term. A lot of this game is just buying stocks with good potential or solid foundations and just waiting, and this is what I'll do with this one. Down over 17% for now, but this will recover, you will see, especially if you follow the journey with me and subscribe. And the other one mentioned earlier, which had a poor week, was ASML, with the management giving mixed signals in terms of expectations for the next year. So yeah, just a quick glance on the overall holdings. So really happy with Google, moving in the right direction, earnings coming up. Let's hope they do well on that, and this stock is likely to move higher. Visa, my second highest holding, with just over 9k in shares, up 12%. Imperial Brands, a strong performer, up 63% for a £3,400 gain, which is the biggest gain in my overall portfolio. MasterCard, up £481. Meta, up just over £1,345. This is another company where I bought recently, which dipped, and I started buying it around $583, and now trading at over $700. Microsoft, now this company is doing really well at the moment, up over $510, and my average for this one is $367, so really solid gains in that one. Tesla, as mentioned earlier, the strongest performer of the week, up just under 50% for now. HIMS, my first loser so far, down just under £1,000, but again, we should see a recovery in my opinion. Carnival, my biggest gainer in the portfolio in terms of percentage, up 3.1k and 109% gain so far. My average price is £9.55, and it's now trading at a dead even £20. At one point, this company traded at an all-time high of about £53 and paid a dividend, so there is still room for this company to grow. As you can see from this 3-month trajectory, it is up over 60%, so performing really strongly. MicroStrategy, big dip at the end of the week as Bitcoin dropped a little bit, but as you can see, a sterling performance over the last month at 15.5%, and in the last 3 months of just under 35%. Nvidia, as I mentioned earlier, up 100% on that one. Really happy as a shareholder of this stock for now. Amazon, up 18% for a £655 gain. So let's have a quick look at my holdings in that. So on 25 shares, average price $181, and currently trading at $225. Oscar Health, down, as mentioned earlier, but I'm hoping for a good recovery. This one, I have just over 400 shares. So these are the kind of stocks that you buy for the big gains, so the 200%, the 300% of this world. And I want to portion a part of my portfolio to these kind of stocks that can have the potential to have explosive growth. So really keen to see how this one does in the medium to long term. Elgen, up 4% for a £145 gain. AbbVie, up 23% for a £612 gain. Broadcom, which is going to be my third 100% stock, if nothing goes too wrong, up over 1.5k and just 3% off the 100% mark. Centric up of just over 38% for a £807 gain. Rio Tinto. So new CEO is due to come in. He's been named. He's going to step in, I think, in August. So hopefully that helps this company recover. And I think if I get into the green, I think I'm probably going to get rid of this stock because it's too cyclical for my liking. Let's have a quick look at that. So if you look at the map, it's up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. That's just too cyclical for me. Plays a strong dividend, but I think in the long term, there are other options for my money. So that's my plan. It could change, but let's see how it goes. Costco up 18% for a £352 gain. Apple, finally a bit of movement on this stock, up 7% for a £107 gain. I've reduced my holdings in this company, but it seems like in the last month, they're doing a bit. So up just under 7.5%. So let's see, maybe they're going to finally get their act together and start giving some shareholder returns of recent times anyway. Obviously, it's done well in the long term, but let's see what they do for now. But at the moment, 1.5% holding within my portfolio, so not very big at all. But let's see. KLA, this one, strong, solid performer, up just over 13.5%. And if we look at the last 3 months for this one, up just under 47%. So solid performer. My average price is $798, but I own not much at all, so under one share. And ASML down just under 13.5%. Yeah, we're just going to have to wait for this one to recover, and it will. The fundamentals of this company are quite solid, so it will recover. It's just a case of time. So that's it. Overall, a summary, up 1.4% for the week, so just over 1.5k. And we're at a record high of £112,519. Obviously, the portfolio hit over £113,000 during the week, but settled this amount. So thank you very much for joining me on this video, and I will see you on the next one.